Global central bank chiefs unite in full solidarity with Fed Chair Powell amid DOJ inquiry. In an unprecedented display of global financial unity, the heads of the world's leading central banks issued a joint statement on Tuesday morning declaring their full solidarity with U.S. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome H. Powell. The extraordinary intervention comes just days after the U.S. Department of Justice, DOJ, launched a criminal investigation into Powell, a move the Fed chair has publicly characterized as a pretext for political retaliation by President Trump's administration over interest rate policy. A rare joint front for independence. The statement, coordinated through the Bank for International Settlements, BIS, in Basel, Switzerland, marks one of the few instances in modern history where global monetary authorities have collectively weighed in on the internal legal and political affairs of another nation's central bank. However, in a rare and defiant video statement released on Sunday, Powell dismissed the inquiry as a smokescreen. He argued that the threat of criminal charges is a direct consequence of the Fed's refusal to slash interest rates as aggressively as the president has demanded market and global impact. Economists warn that the attempt to politicize the Fed could have highly negative consequences for the global economy. Because the US dollar serves as the world's primary reserve currency, any perception that the Fed's decisions are driven by political fear rather than economic data could lead to massive volatility. Country/region central bank chief notable comment Eurozone Christine Lagarde called independence a prerequisite for stability. United Kingdom Andrew Bailey emphasized Powell's highest regard among peers. Germany Joachim Nagel labeled the U.S. developments a cause for concern. United States Jerome Powell vowed to serve without political fear or favor. Global central bank chiefs unite in full. The independence of central banks is a cornerstone of price, financial and economic stability in the interest of the citizens that we serve, the joint statement read. Chair Powell has served with integrity, focused on his mandate and an unwavering commitment to the public interest. Key signatories of the Solidarity Statement: Christine Lagarde, President of the European Central Bank, ECB; Andrew Bailey, Governor of the Bank of England; Tiff Macklem, Governor of the Bank of Canada; Michelle Bullock, Governor of the Reserve Bank of Australia; Martin Schlegel, Chair of the Swiss National Bank; the governors of the central banks of Brazil, South Korea, Sweden, Denmark, and Norway. Escalating tensions, the DOJ probe, claiming no involvement. The rhetoric from the administration remains sharp. The global banking community is now watching to see if this wall of solidarity will deter further legal action or if the standoff will lead to a constitutional crisis regarding the president's authority to fire the Fed chair, a case that may eventually land before the Supreme Court.
The threat of criminal charges is a consequence of the Federal Reserve setting interest rates based on our best assessment of what will serve the public, rather than following the preferences of the president. This is about whether the Fed will be able to continue to set interest rates based on evidence and economic conditions, or whether instead monetary policy will be directed by political pressure or intimidation. I have served at the Federal Reserve under 4 administrations, Republicans and Democrats alike. In every case, I have carried out my duties without political fear or favor, focused solely on our mandate of price stability and maximum employment. Public service sometimes requires standing firm in the face of threats. I will continue to do the job the Senate confirmed me to do, with integrity and a commitment to serving the American people.